I will remove fuel subsidy. Your protest won't stop me. Tinubu warns Nigerians. Presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Tinubu, has warned that no amount of protest from Nigerians would stop his administration from removing fuel subsidy if elected. He frowned at a situation the federal government would be subsidizing fuel consumption in neighboring Africa countries like Cameroon, Niger, and Benin Republic. In a statement by Tunde Rahman, Tinubu Media Office, after a business luncheon with business owners entitled Business Forward in Lagos, the APC candidate promised to turn Nigeria's present challenges into opportunities for growth and development. He also promised to work towards creating a better security in the country to give them an enabling environment to do their businesses. The APC candidate said it was the responsibility of government to secure the lives and properties of citizens. His administration, if elected, would make that his priority, the same way he did as Lagos State Governor. Addressing the issue of fuel subsidy and what he intends to do as president, he promised to take bold decisions that will turn the economy around, and one of such will be a firm decision on fuel subsidy, stressing that Nigeria will not continue to subsidize fuel consumption in neighboring countries. How can we be subsidizing fuel consumption of Cameroon, Niger, and Benin Republic? No matter how long the protest, we are going to remove the subsidy, he emphatically stated. First, the primary responsibility of government is to protect the lives and citizens of the lives, properties, and prosperity of its citizens. He says, we will increase the numbers of our military and non-military forces, specialist anti-terrorist battalions with integrated special forces units shall also be established. We shall acquire and upgrade the tactical communications and mobility of our troops and security personnel. We must also devote greater attention to the care and welfare of our military and security forces who put themselves in harm's way to keep us safe. Okay. I mean, he can say all these things, but really, who hasn't said these things? Who hasn't said, we're going to increase a number of military personnel, we're going to remove subsidy, we're going to increase spending in other sections, for example, like health and education. So really, it's like, I don't know, he's saying the same thing that every other president would say, but why would the Nigerian trust him or trust the other candidates that may literally say the same thing? And I feel like, to be honest, tried and tested, as they say, right? It's the same parties from before. It's the same party that's the ruling party right now, and look at the individual they have produced. And also, look at the other parties as well. I feel like if there's any reason why you should vote for any candidate, vote for something new. You cannot do the same thing again and again and expect the same result. Yes, there's awareness and increased voter engagement or citizen engagement when it comes to these elections, but also what's important is the fact that we can't do the same thing again. And if it's a risk, I don't think it's a risk. It's like the only option is for you not to go with the party that because both parties have disappointed big time, and more than just the individuals that are contesting for the presidential seat or whatever seat they're going for. You look at the party, because more than anything, as much as the individual's reputation is important, the party reputation is important. What kind of individuals do they bring? What kind of individuals do they raise to represent them? And if they raise people like Tinubu, that is a problem. And again, look at the patterns. Look at APC. The person they've given is Buhari, and you trust them to give you another person as well. Someone like Tinubu to come and rule your country. It is a problem. It is a problem, and it's very unfortunate because those that are going to be weaponized and their poverty and low economic situation, as well as their lack of literacy, it will be manipulated against those that are vulnerable, because they will not think as one who is comfortable. They will not think as one who is, as one who has the opportunity to then look at the bigger picture. They cannot look at the bigger picture when in their own small picture they are not able to survive. There is no way you can tell a hungry man to start discussing, the pros and cons of policies and, what this impact. No, you can't do that. So I think to a large extent, if we're going to, as a community or as a society, Nigerian state, wait for the individuals that are manipulated to then get to their own very sense of understanding, And I think that's just gonna be not worth it. I think, in my opinion, I think they just have to be saved in the fact that whatever happens, those that are gonna vote, well, they are also voting as well. But those that are gonna vote, or those that are gonna push for a better presidency or a better administration, would also account for them in the fact that, listen, what we are doing would also benefit you. Because really, except we start some rigid, aggressive communication plan in terms of raising awareness, and just that rise in educational awareness, and also being able to think for yourself, if we don't include that, especially in our education system, because that is literally the future, especially because it's like we're dealing with already grown individuals that are used to a system, and they think a certain way which you cannot be able to change at some point. So really, it's about the young ones and literally the future, to be honest. Because yes, as I said, Tinubu has said all this, but really, what has he said that's new? What is, because I feel like we don't want to hear what he wants to do. We want to hear why he thinks he's the best candidate for Nigerians. Because what you're going to do is not depending on him. It depends on him and the people he's with. And if he's decisive enough to work with them, or to, bring people together, be organized and do that obviously depends on his skill. But the real question is, why should we vote you? Because we don't want to vote for what you will do, because that's the tactic that has been used so many times. Because your partner or your opponent, can say the exact same thing, use different words, be a bit more convincing, but why should I vote for you? And obviously, why you can convince someone to vote for you also ties into what you can do, but it also gives you a way for you to shine as well. So why are you competent? Why should we vote for you? I can't, because to be honest, it's not enough. You telling me I'm going to refill subsidies, I'm going to increase this, I'm going to increase that. We genuinely, it's not that. Because I feel like more than just what you do, you have to have people believe in you. Because that is how, and I think that's what he's missing, to be honest. That I believe is greater when it comes to, for example, Peter Obi supporters. They actually believe in the individual. Not that, Peter Obi has also had to prove that, listen, I am the one for you because I've done this, blah, 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 blah. But he's done it so well in the fact that he understands what you want, and he says, I will give you what you want because I am what you want. And he uses experiences, he uses the fact that he knows how to speak, he's been president, he's been governor. So again, why can't Tinubu use his accomplishments, factual accomplishments, not I built Lagos? Listen, no one's believing that. That's BS. Because you need to use actual accomplishments that can be fact-checked to then, amp up your manifesto or your speech or your candidacy, to be honest. So yeah, I think, to be honest, he's saying the nice stuff, he's saying the really beautiful stuff, but really, Nigerians have been through that, and I think we should be merciless, we should be very brutal in who we pick, and not necessarily go with this fandom or try to become fans and then having parties. No. We need to be very strict and harsh on whoever it is, and especially when it comes to accountability, because everyone will say what they want to do, but will they do it? We'll have to wait and see. But if they don't, or they do, there'll be rewards, and especially if they don't, they will get it. Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.